Getting close to Halloween. Happy Halloween, folks. Welcome to Center of Light. Yanava. Tonight is Center of Light. Dimensions. Walking through doorways. Hello, Robert. Hello, Lord, David, Rena, KK. Robert Harrison on YouTube. Let me do a refresh here. Walking through doorways. Tonight is Dreamweaver. I believe you can get me through the night. You can bet we're going to do some lyrics later. Pick at them a little bit. Have some fun. Have fun. You're having fun. It'll help you walk through these dimensional doorways. This is why I do, well, there's many reasons why I do what I do. But walking through doorways, higher conscious experiences, is what is the kindle for my flame. It really is. Homecoming Crossing the Bridge to the Soul, my most recent release, bestseller. You can jump seat to Amazon. The link is in this forum. You can use the same link to leave me a review if you have already read this powerful, beautiful, delicious piece of spiritual cake of mine. I made some cake, y'all. I put whipped cream on it. There's ice cream. There's a cherry on it. Tonight we're going to move through doorways. Hello, Elaine Leonard. I had a landmark experience last night. We've all had, speaking for myself, I've had dreams. I've had lucid dreams, and they're just amazing. Last night was a lucid dream, but it turned into something else. There was an aha, a knowing involved. That was a landmark, an initiation to a new program. I've heard this said many, many years ago by a very illumined woman. She was a grandmother Indian, Native American Indian. And she mentioned, if I remember correctly, when you reach this particular place in your spiritual development, everything begins to open up. Doors begin to open up. Everything begins to open up. And it begins to exponentiate and widen very quickly in development, though there's much more development that needs to take place. Hello, Bob. But once you get to this level, the domino effect begins to happen. This happened last night. How do I know that? That's what she was speaking about. Because you just know. How do you just know? Well, you just know. Because something was different. What was the difference? A state of awareness I have not experienced until last night, which is I got it kind of thing. So tonight we're going to be speaking about walking into doorways. Oh my God. Let me find my prop. Where's my prop? Oh, I'll find it shortly. Let me do support Center of Light. Going to be right back. Tonight is Center of Light Dimensions. Hello, Lore. Dreamweaver. Hello, beautiful Elaine. She says, you do just know love. I love it. Support Center of Light, merch to purchase. Be right back.
inside, see the light. I wonder, do you realize? See inside, see the light and more.
Welcome back to Center of Light. Remember, I can't always send this out of the country. They want your arm, your leg, your mortgage, your house, and your firstborn child. But I will participate out of country, but you're going to have to pay for the shipping, and it can be costly. So hello, United States of America. Along with the Lotus Flower Incense holder, thank you, Robert Harrison, my generous bro. Along with the Lotus Flower Incense holder comes a box of Satya Sai Baba Nang Champa Agarbati. It smells like that cake I told you I was going to bake for you. Good stuff. Tonight is Center of Light Dimensions. Dreamweaver. Doorways. Stargates. Liberation. Every being in the universe wants liberation. Freedom. That's the game. That's the ticket. There's no other greater ticket in town. Freedom. Well, Keith, I'm pretty free to live in America. I'm speaking about freedom. All restrictions, all walls just come tumbling down. Last night, I had an aha moment in my dreamscape. It was just a simple, what? I've been doing this for so long. The only thing that changed was the level of aha that I got. Let me look at my notes before I let go and freelance. This is why I do what I do. Though I have peace at my base, I'm interested in other worlds, other conscious, high-level experiences. So what fired off in me is a knowing of how to unlock the doors. Keith, please tell me how. Sure I will. Of course I will. I don't know if I can even tell you. You see, because it's not a formula that I can give you that you can implement and have the same success. You are you, I am me, and we are we. But I'm here to motivate, nurture, support, become the example of the fire in me, the wanting, which will open any door, the passion. In this normal occurrence of lucid dream experience I had last night, this knowing inserted itself. I must warn you that when you begin to play on these levels, you have to be ever vigilant and diligent. Understand that the same law of karma applies. God's house of many mansions. We've all heard that. Hello, Lewis, my bro. God's house of many mansions, right? You have your own mansion and you can do what you want in your mansion, but you still cannot violate other energy. It's your king or queendom, but don't be dumb. So what you do is when something comes into your experience that you just want to simply abolish or get rid of, or I'm done with you, I'm not interested in your experience, instead of smiting them, you simply use your divine will and say, you're not welcome at this party tonight. Please exit the front door. Laura says John 14:2. I'm assuming this is the house of many mansions. Thank you. So you can have exactly what you want. And now, than in previous times, is the time to do that. If you're interested, if you're such a one who wants to become unified, liberated in your soul to have all these cosmic experiences, it's not hard. I will lay out multiple techniques tonight, but it's not hard. Well, Keith, must I? It's none of that. It's just simply, oh my God, the exhilaration, the excitement. Little puppy dog about to be bought and his tail's wagging. He's in a window. I'm going home with my new parents. Likewise, we go home liberation to our divine parent, which is all possibility. And you can have exactly what you want. Do you even know what that is? Do you know what it is that it's exactly what you want yet? Have you narrowed it down? Yeah, I like cars. I like food. I like all these things. But do you know what you really, really want? Tell me what you want, what you really, really want, what you really, really want. Have you narrowed it down? Sure, you could write it in a few paragraphs, which I strongly suggest. And then you get more clear. You get more clear, and then you reread your 2 paragraphs or whatever it is. And you begin to remove all the extraneous parts. I wanted this and I wanted that. I want to experience this and I want to experience that. Can we narrow down these multiple words that describe having fun just to having fun? But it requires the elimination removal process of all those things we wrote so that we can emote that very vibratory energy that took 2 paragraphs that now only takes 1 paragraph. And eventually through this process we become so clear, my dear, we become so clear that everything flips over on its head. The heart becomes higher than the mind, which it already is. So that when you move into these dimensions, you know exactly what to do to stay in it longer. For me, it's about moving cosmically as I choose to experience, celebrate, offer to others liberation. There's an aha that will begin to happen. One of the first ahas is you remember the dreams you had last night. First aha. Because sometimes we all wake up and it's like, I know I dreamed something that had to do with my friend John Doe, but I can't wrap the whole scenario around my head. So the first part of waking up in the dream scenario, because all of this is just a dream in the mind of God. So the trick is, the desire is coming to a state of consciousness in the dream, in the mind of God. When this happens, game is on. So the first component to waking up in the dreamscape is remembering last night you had a dream and being able to recall that. Number 2, waking up in the dream, and fleeting it may be, but you are not only tomorrow going to repeat and remember what you dreamed, you know some sliver, some fleeting aspect of yourself had a glimpse through the door. I was there. I didn't just dream it and I'm remembering it and I'm writing it down. I was there. Congratulations. Step 3. Hello, Ted Ruiz, my bro. Step 3. I think this is what it means to be conscious in a dreamscape. And you start to begin to become Ready Player One, like the movie. And as you begin to interact, it shuts off and you wake up in the bed. Congratulations, don't be upset. You want to go to the gym to gain bigger muscles? You have to work your muscles. Likewise, you have to learn, work, exercise your awareness spiritual muscles, your conscious spiritual muscles. So congratulations, you've achieved the level of being conscious longer. And eventually, wait a minute, whoa. I know I have a body laying on a bed a gazillion light years away down there on Earth somewhere. Now you're really starting to do the work, or play rather. Sometimes it can get a little squishy, wishy, washy, in these experiences because we're playing with energy now in this level, on another level, and it gets a lot more fluid like water. It's just fluid. And then the next level, the next phase, the next level of elevation is being in the experience and staying there pretty freaking long. And now, hello, Nori Love. I felt you come in. And now you can interact. Again, it may flee from you because you've taken a new level. Stay with it. And the next time you have another experience where you're interacting, the interaction lasts a little longer, a little longer. The next level is being able to invite into your lucid experience exactly what you want. Deceased loved ones, star beings. You want to go watch a planet being born in the universe, you can do that. There's nothing that is impossible. Not one single solitary thing is impossible. Tonight is Center of Light Dimensions. Dreamweaver, I believe you can get me through the night. Fly me through a starry sky, maybe to an astral plane. And by the time you get to this level, you're going to be jazzed up. All of your uncertainties and doubts about other worlds and other beings living on other worlds will simply just go away from you. And then you will begin to feel your connection to everything in the dream, in the mind of God. God itself, in all of its multifaceted expressions. Here's the kicker. You will absolutely begin to lose your fear of death because you will have already touched what it's like to have passed over. Last night was the next level for me. Something came in and said, you know how to unlock doors, Keith. Unlock them. Unlock them. People were causing me some discomfort. I said, bro, you need to leave my house. My house, my room, my dwelling, and the house of many mansions. You need to leave my quarters. Goodbye. Just command it. I know it to be so. And they simply disappear. Because you've launched them out of your conscious spectrum, and you've launched not only yourself and the situation, but your dwelling to another level entirely as to why they simply disappear, because they can no longer be a part of your home, which is consciousness. Home is consciousness. Home is consciousness. Home is consciousness. And then you begin to invite exactly what you want. Remember, karma is still very much active on all levels. Think you can get a little mean with someone just because it's in your dwelling? You can. And then all of a sudden will come down the road for you is lots of helling. So we don't necessarily change as we begin to open up doors, because it's no longer, or it's fleeing from us, that our nature is no longer as such. We're no longer angry or mean or vengeful. But some people have mastered the art of spirituality in such a way that they can do exactly what they want. We all can do exactly what we want. Some of us know better. Know better. Yes, David, it's multidimensional understanding. It's seeing. Seeing included with seeing, but included with seeing. Included with seeing. It's all seeing, a way of taking in information. This is spiritual liberation. God is all powerful. God is all knowledgeable. God is omnipresent. We know knowledge is power, so when we understand God and we get close to God, we get all knowledge. And when we get close to God, because of all knowledge, we get all power. And then when we get all knowledge and all power, we see that God is everywhere, and then we can begin to melt, merge, and mingle with our divine parent who's omnipresent. Then the doors begin to open up. The doors begin to open up. I'm going to give you some techniques shortly, but right now I'm doing my fall inside Jay Leno monologue. Last night I was choosing to fly. I just want to fly right now. I want to go 2,000 feet in the air, and 2,000 feet I went. Come back down, there are people or beings or energies. Because you see, in these realities, people say, well, Keith, it's a dream world. Many people believe that there is a parallel world to the earth that is basically an empty stage for which we can all go to act out our thoughts, our undealt with things. I have no doubt that exists, because in infinity, everything does exist. This is not what I'm speaking. And even so, in a demo world where you can practice your spiritual expansion, though there will be other beings, fictitious beings, if you will, because it's the practice world, doesn't mean that your intentions are not very lively. So it doesn't matter. When you get out into these realms, time does not exist. It does not exist. So you don't want the backlash, though you may have a spooky, scary moment, hello Halloween, in the moment that you were intending something with malice or harm or whatever to someone else. The karma is not complete until it physically kisses you on your face. Remember this seed you planted in the dream world? Well, the plant has grown, and it turns out to be poison sumac, or poison oak, or poison ivy, and you begin to itch and scratch. Let me share with you what a few of infinite dimensions are. Right now, we're hanging out in this beautiful platform of Center of Light, and I thank you for it. It's because of you. That's one dimension. Tonight, when you go to sleep, that's another dimension. The taste in your mouth is the tasting dimension. The sounds you hear with your ear is the auditory dimension. The feelings is the emotional dimension. Your thinking is its mental dimension. Your eyes are its seeing dimension. So when you're awake, like now, that is one dimension. And when you're sitting at school and you're awake and you're doing this with your pencil on the desk, daydreaming, you are in the one dimension of being awake, sitting in your desk, entertaining a second dimension. You've already walked through a door. Likewise, when you are sleeping at night and you become conscious, knowing that something is different, I'm somehow here, sleeping, and you waken into the dream, you've crossed into the same dimension and contrast that I mentioned a second ago when you were daydreaming. Awake and you fall into a dream, and the opposite reflection of that is you're sleeping at night and then you wake up. When you get really good at this, your spiritual expansion begins to move, melt, and meld and swell into there is no longer this dimension or that dimension. Because the waking, when you're daydreaming, and the sleeping, when you become lucid, all four of these become one. And so guess what happens to the human being? You've integrated these levels, these dimensions. There's no longer a split. You may use words to describe with your friends. Well, last night when I was sleeping. But that's not really what's happening for you anymore. Invite loved ones into your experience. And I'm not talking about just dreams. I'm on fire because of what engaged in me last night. Walking through these doorways. Simply just walking right through it. And if there's no door, you create the door. Well, Keith, do I have to create the door? You don't have to create anything. You just create what you just call up what you want. Some people create a crank and they start cranking this crank. I want to go watch A Star Being Born. And they begin to turn this crank, the living shit out this crank. Some people create a bell and they begin to bang on the bell. Some people just say, Star Being Born. And Barbara Streisand steps up. Or Lady Gaga or Bradley Cooper or Chris Christopherson, A Star Being Born. And they show up and they rise to the occasion. And they watch this celestial event. This is the land I'm treading on, and I'm grateful to be able to share this with you. So I'm not asking you to necessarily become good dream weavers as far as remembering your dreams and writing it down into a log. And if this is where you are in your definition or in your growth or in your process, fantastic. You're on your way. But you have to make your way deeper into the forest and move through the boogeymen and all the Halloween ghouls and move into the earth schools, the parallel earth schools. Learn your craft. Doors will begin to open up for you. It may start off as a very faint memory. It will begin to expand. You get to stay longer. You get to stay longer. You get to stay longer. And then you begin to integrate all these 4 dimensions I mentioned ago. And then you never leave. You are a dream weaver. Many years ago, 19, let's say, no, it's not 19. Let's say 2002. Went to bed, finished playing music. I come to a state of full-blown consciousness. And I'm in an experience with a wife, 2.5 children, nice car, average house. I had a job. I lived there for 2 weeks. Every day. Woke up in the morning, waited as long as I possibly could, ate breakfast, hauled ass down the highway to get to a job I didn't like, do my task, get in the car, haul ass all the way home, because I can't wait to get home because I hate my job, eat supper, hang out with the kids with TV for a little while, watching some Walt Disney, made love to the wife, went to bed. I did this for 2 weeks. You know that experience that happens to you when you wake up in the morning, you feel that pull, that tug that brings you back to your bedroom and you wake up? Well, I begin to feel that pull, that tug. So I'm waking up from this 2-week experience with the wife and the 2.5 kids. Only to find myself thinking to myself, oh my God, what an amazing dream that was. I just had a dream. This is what I'm telling myself. I just had a dream that I was in another place with another wife and other children for 2 weeks. And this experience, I had a wife, 3 or 4 kids, went to a job, came back, did this every day for a week. Thinking this was my reality. And then I felt the pull again, and I find myself in this time experience, Keith Blanchard experience, bedroom. Chew on this. I lived 2 weeks, dimension somewhere. It's still active, and I am still there. Like many of us are. You're a multifaceted, multidimensional creature, stardust, and all that beautiful stuff. To wake up, to find myself in another reality for a week, only to wake up in my room to realize I lived 3 weeks in 8 hours, and it was real. How do I know it was 2 weeks and a week? Because I went to work for 10 days, and then the next week I went to work for 5 days. Tonight is Center of Light Dimensions. Dreamweaver, are you conscious of the dream you're living? Do you think this is reality? This is a dream. The game is to become conscious of the dream in the mind of God. When you do this, oh my God, the dominoes that have been in your way begin to tumble and fall, and you begin to become erect, balanced, and rise. I'll see you shortly. From Lavender Soul, a song I wrote many years ago. I played pretty much everything except the lyrics and the drums. It's called What Am I Looking For? Center of Light Doorways, what am I looking for? See you shortly.
to a golden door. What's behind it that I need more than what I have? I'm just not sure. What am I searching for? The mothership to a distant shore. Could this journey make me more of who I am? I'm just not sure.
Where do you go to find the answers? There is a place you haven't tried. Your search for love is taking chances. Have you ever thought to look inside?
What am I hoping for? A better world, is there a cure? What can I do to help the score? I'm at a loss, I'm just not sure. What am I praying for? To see the light around the world and the people's love restored. Peace on earth, of this I'm sure.
Where do you go to find your answers? There is a place you haven't tried. Your search for love is taking chances. Have you ever thought to look inside? Where do you go to find your answers? There is a place you haven't tried. Your search for love is taking chances. Have you ever thought to look inside? You hold the key to find your answers. I am the door you have not tried. Never again taking chances. Open your heart and walk inside. Walk inside.
Welcome back to Center of Light as Stormy Steele. Oh my God, could this lady sing? The lyric I wrote many years ago. Where do you go to find your answers? There is a place you haven't tried. Your search for love is taking chances, but have you ever thought to look inside? You hold the key to find your answers. I am the door you have not tried. Never again taking chances. Open your heart and walk inside. This is what happened to me last night. I can't explain to you how to do it, but I can share with you some techniques that you can refine yourself and make them yours. And so you can completely just toss those away and it's yours as you see it to be so. Abulita, that is from my spiritual band Lavender Soul. Everyone, I am selling Lavender Soul CDs. I used to sell these $20 a CD. I'm selling them $10 per. I'll send you the 3-box set for $30 plus shipping in the United States only. Unless you want to pay for the shipping, which is an arm and a leg and your firstborn child. A month ago, to ship to Canada was $14 and change. So one day I go to send off a gift, thanks to Robert Harrison, to Canada, and they say, Mr. Blanchard, our prices have went up from 14 and change and went to $40. I just couldn't do it. Let me know. I'll send you this beautiful music. Bob has bought some, Robert has some, Rena has some, and I'm sure they will be more than happy to let you know the tranquility that exists as a consciousness in the thread of this music. Hello, Kelly Bauman. Let's get down to let's move through some doorways. How do you move through a doorway? I don't mean just to have better dreams and to remember your dreams. I'm talking about to step into multiple realities that do exist. And they exist inside of you. The first thing you need is desire. To want it. In fact, step 2, step 3, 4, 5, however many steps there are after, do not even exist until you step 1. Till you take the first step, step 1. That's half of the journey, because without it, nothing happens. Is have a fire in you. A living, conscious fire in you to walk into your soul. Step 1. Sounds easy, doesn't it? It actually is. Remove the difficulty. Don't try. Allow. Be with. Appreciate. Learn your craft. You witch you. It is Halloween. Don't take it out of context. I play with the words witch and craft because it's Halloween. Well, Keith, that sounds dark. Whatever. I am not into the dark nonsense. It's nonsense. That's why it's dark. It's ignorant. It's belligerent. It doesn't mean anything. Want for something, which is the greatest possible you. Open those doors. Use the key. What's the key? I can give you the key, or I can tell you what the key is. It's your heart. Desire is number 1. Number 2 is going to require patience. It may not happen after many years of efforting or trying or whatever it is, not trying. It can. But be ready, because it's not about the waiting impatiently. It's about waiting becausefully. And I will wait as long as it can. I have to. And with this attitude that I will wait if it takes forever, is what will hasten it to arrive to where it takes never. Patience. Diligence. Staying to it. Wanting it. Now I'm going to give you some techniques. You can trim the fat, the spiritual bacon fat, off of these models that I'm going to offer to you. Manipulate it to fit your design. Because in the end game, it's all by your own design in the first place. Don't use anyone else's models. Maybe use them for a while until you realize that this looks a little better if I grab this piece and put it somewhere about right there. Simply just because it feels better to you that way. Then that's what you do. Doors, I would invite that. When you start to become conscious of the out there, let's just call it out there. It's not really what it is. It's really in here, but the out there, moving into different dimensions. Maybe you can start off by wanting to see doors. We'll move to that shortly. Let's move into some applications of how we can make this happen. Here are some techniques to again, to remember your dreams, fantastic if that's where you are. Or try to become lucid, fantastic if that's where you are and you're having some success. But I'm talking about, can you bypass, maybe you can, your infinite, powerful spiritual being, to move directly into moving through doorways. Here's some techniques that will help you to engage in induce an out-of-body experience, in-body experience, and to begin to have that spiritual liberation that is your divine birthright. I'm looking at a few things. Here we go. Please feel free to share this everywhere. All right. How to lucid dream in steps. If you want, maybe grab a pen and pencil or look at your time marker right now and see what it is. I'm at whatever time marker. Write these tricks, tips down. Practice, number one, practice good sleep hygiene. That's bullshit because nobody's able to have good sleep hygiene right now through all this cray-cray. But practice good sleep hygiene. Consistent sleep hygiene is useful for lucid dreaming. Again, I don't really mean this, which it is included in remembering dreams and astral projection. Lucid dreams and remembering them and astral projections are step 1 and 2 till we get to this level that I am projecting tonight, which is consciously walking through doorways. Consistent sleep hygiene is useful for lucid dreaming. Try the wake back to bed technique. I am now dropping into this forum a link to a product that I interviewed Connor Southworth a few years ago with he and his brother Alex, their new product by a company called Dreamleaf. Supplements for lucid dreams, experience, whatever. There's no garbage in here, absolutely no garbage. It is all herbs. I've been taking it for years. The first time I ever took it, my deceased mother, my godfather, and another relative showed up immediately, and my brother was waiting in queue to talk to me, who's deceased. First night. It's a phenomenal product. If you're into the things that I am into, it costs you about $25 a month. Small price for infinite abundance. And Connor and his brother have a very large sense of humor because their program for lucid dreaming is in 2 parts. You take the blue pill and you wake up in your bed and you can believe what you want to believe. You take the red pill and I'll show you just how far the rabbit hole goes. So if you take the blue pill, then the red pill, within 4 hours of each other, I'm not going to get into the directions. Or there's another technique that you can take this pill. Take the red pill and then the blue pill. But it requires you, let me get to that technique. So the link to lucid dreaming is in this form. Yes, there we go. Dreamly, phenomenal product. Try the wake back to bed technique. Okay, here we go. So the idea is not only on Dreamleaf sleep enhancement, but if you can't afford it, the idea is set your alarm for 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning to wake you up. Keith, I want to sleep. Exactly. You don't want to wake. I want to wake. So what you do is you set your alarm for some wee hour of the morning, only to wake you up and for you to walk around or do whatever you can for about 20 to 30 minutes preferably. And because now you're awake and active in the mind, when you lay back down to go to sleep, your body wants to go back to bed because Your body's upset with you, so to speak, just to make a point and a joke. Did you actually wake me up just to make me go back to sleep? So your body wants to immediately submerge itself in relaxation and sleep. But the mind is now going again. This is the wake back to bed technique. And more than likely, if you do this technique, you will find yourself so hyper present and conscious, you won't believe this is happening to you if you never had this experience before. There is also called a charged water technique. You have a glass of water, put your hands around it, and you put your intentions of, I want to be present tonight, into the water. And you drink the water, and the I want to be present tonight, as validation and confirmation and as an affirmation, begins to move through your being. And then when things begin to go down, because you went through the process in this ritual, you go, I'm supposed to be present. It simply begins to show up for you. Another technique that you can use, well, there you go, Abulita. I usually get up around 3 o'clock in the morning. Another technique you can use in meditation or when you are falling to sleep. We'll get to the technique and the falling to sleep here in a second. The mnemonic introduction to sleep, induction into sleep, which is you rock yourself in and out. You're laying there, I'm sleeping. Jesus, 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 Om Sadam Guru Devadatta, Om Sri Sadam Guru Devadatta, or a picture of your kids that's going through your mind, whatever's beautiful to you. And when you feel that you're in a beautiful space, spiritual space, you remember those days on the playground when you used to ride that thing that would do this? Rocking chair, swing, whatever it is. So you rock. You rock. You rock. If you know anyone that actually rocks all the time, that's just a way of their being, it is said God is on a swing in their heart. That's why they're constantly rocking. God can always be seen and always be induced by holding the visualization of a garland-laced swing with your favorite deity on it in your heart, just simply rocking back and forth. But you rock back and forth, and you rock back and forth, and you rock back and forth. Well, Keith, when do I do the thing? You don't do the thing, it does you. And you rock back and forth, however long or not long it takes. And when you know it's time, you just simply rock back and forth, and you launch yourself out. Back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. This is one way to truly not leave your body, but rather fall deeper into your soul. These are metaphors that the mind needs to go through as to why we play them out in such ways. The mnemonic, it's spelled M-N-E, it's just a tongue twister. The mnemonic induction of lucid dreams. So what you do is you go to sleep with a target in mind. I want to see my deceased grandfather. I want to be with him, not see him. I want to be with him. And you put your fire and your passion and your cojones into it. Go to sleep with a target in mind. Repeat it over and over. Repeat it meaning go through your process over and over. The MILD technique, which stands for the mnemonic induction to lucid dreaming. Every night as you're falling asleep, repeat the same phrase to yourself, whatever that phrase is. It should be along the lines of, I will know that I am dreaming, or something similar. When, keep repeating it until you fall asleep. Many years ago, I would say, because of our air conditioner or our heater in our home, the central unit, would go on and off in intervals. I would say, whenever I subconsciously hear the engaging of my central unit, I will use this as a marker to become conscious. It worked wonders for me. Cars passing by in the road. When I hear it subconsciously, I will become illumined out to the level of being awake in the dreamscape. They all work. You can invent them. Make up your own. By repeating such a mantra, be it a verbal mantra or a visual mantra, you're encouraging your brain to be aware when you begin dreaming, increasing your chances of having a lucid dream. Abelita says, I want to see Archangel Michael. Do it. Get back with me. Let me know how it goes. It comes from your heart. Love it. As we keep moving through the processes of how to begin to open doors, it's called reality check. Reality checks help you confirm whether you are awake or asleep. The idea is to get your brain used to the idea of identifying whether you are dreaming or not, so you can become more equipped to do so while you are asleep. Lucid dreaming experts recommend doing any of the following about 10 times per day. Try to push your index finger of one hand through the palm of your opposite hand. Do so with the expectation, I know I can do this. I'm just going to simply pick up my finger and push it through my hand. Do so with the expectation that you'll be able to make this happen while asking yourself both before and after whether you are dreaming. In a dream, this would actually happen, although it wouldn't in reality. By keeping an open mind and questioning your reality both before and after, you help yourself truly recognize when you're dreaming or not. I'm going to touch on something about this from Homecoming Crossing the Bridge to the Soul shortly, which says exactly this from many years ago. Plus, by making this a regular habit, you eventually might repeat the same experience in your dream. And when your finger goes through, you'll know that you are dreaming. Rather, said differently, you will know that you are consciously awake. You might also closely observe your hands and feet. I've said this many times. Look at your hands. You can see your hands. Then you consciously made a decision to command something. I'm going to look at my hands, and there they are. That brings you into presence. That brings you present into this experience. You might also closely observe your hands and feet, like I just mentioned. These tend to be distorted in dreams. Of course, there's going to be a fluctuation of energy. It's not going to really per se look like your hands, because the energy in this level of consciousness is very fluid. It's very erratic. You see, it will take a humanoid form, and you will know it's your hands and or your feet, but don't expect it to look like your hands. And you can see that you've manicured your fingernails. You had a pedicure yesterday. This is too mundanely focused. You need to step back. Look at a clock or a page of text in a book. Then look quickly away and back. I call this scanning. For example, you're in the dream realm and you're conscious and you're like, oh my God, I'm conscious. Trust me when I tell you, when you become conscious and you know you're conscious, your puppy dog tail is going to start to wag. Oh my God, I'm conscious. And then you want to look at things with all this level of excitement. And because there's a book on the table and you want to decode and or read its message that is intended for you to do so, you are so hyper excited, you're going to lose it. And it's going to disappear. This is called scanning. What you do when you're in the dreamland in the mind of God is you look everywhere. And you can look at the book on the table with its message for you. But you begin to scan. You become hyper expandedly aware, because when it becomes mundanely focused, you will lose it. So you step back, look around, read a little bit of the text. Look around, you continue to read the text. This is called scanning. Just look at everything and nothing at the same time. It will keep you aware. In a dream, the next time or text is likely to change, but in the real world, it will stay the same. Scanning your hands, scan the room. Next technique, use a dream journal. Not for the sake of wanting to remember your dreams, which can and is important that you understand the symbology, because the symbology will be a code and a language to tell you exactly how you were doing, but it's also the process of writing it down that integrates itself, that keeps you consciously aware when you become consciously aware. It widens the door. It widens the window. Develop a reality testing system. That reality testing system is, like I said, putting your finger through the palm of your hand, looking at your hands, looking at your feet, checking things out. Be it a person, an experience, a message, a situation. Once you begin to hunker in, you make it reality. So do you really want that thing that you're hyper-focusing on to be your reality? Or do you want the scanning and the peripheral to be your reality? Because this is what is happening on Earth. We are so mundanely focused on what's going on, we have often lost sight of the all of it. My dialogue with Spirit many years ago in Homecoming Crossing the Bridge to the Soul, when I said I was going to get back to supporting a message I read just a moment ago with something from my new release. So tonight is about dreaming, not really. Because what we call reality right now is a dream. So it's about becoming awake in the dream, in the mind of God. We have a little more benefit, more effortless ease, where we allow ourselves, if you please, to get these dominoes tumbling and the doors opening. Physically, you have to go through physical obstacles, if you will, and lessons to bring about such blessings. But in the land of no time, it could take no time for any of us to achieve such goals. And when I say goals, I don't mean work towards a goal. You are the goalpost. So erect yourself. Find yourself. And then begin to refine yourself in the dream process. And then you become the realization of the dream itself in the mind of God. From Homecoming Crossing the Bridge to the Soul, I asked Spirit the question, why do I have way out experiences when I'm sleeping and not awake? Because during sleep, you lose the very awareness that your body and mind crave to stay in it. And because as long as you're sleeping, you cannot be lured into the temptations of the external world that your mind and body crave. And then I say, sometimes I have dreams. This is really, really key. Take a breath. To integrate the bang, the buck, the bang, the light of this presentation. Why do I have these way out experiences when I'm sleeping and not awake? I read that. The print is very small. Sometimes I have dreams that seem so real. Hello, Earth, being awake right now. Sometimes I have dreams that seem so real that I wake up thinking I was actually there. And God says, you were, Keith. And I say, I was? If you were not there, where were you? But aren't dreams just metaphors for something else? And your life on earth is not? And I say, I see your point. Keith, you are dreaming right now. You may think just because your physical eyes are open that you are awake. But even though they are, there is a part of you that still sleeps. And I respond, this dream versus reality thing is still confusing me. I shall effort to clear it up then. When you have a dream, it is a dream, and at the same time, it is not. In your waking state of consciousness, when everything seems to be tangible, that too is a dream. The reality is that both provide you with experiences that are integral to your growth. The dichotomy is that since both are dreams dreamed from my mind, everything in your waking and sleeping life is an illusion as well as real. This is when the lines become blurred from what we call reality now, which is still another level of sleeping, to being awake in an experience that we deem as sleeping. And I say I understand that. But if I'm faced with two scenarios, how can I decide which one is the higher and which one is the lower? Keith, your ability to differentiate between the two is what makes one more real than the other. The one that you decide is a closer representation of me, meaning God, is the higher reality. The other is likely to be the illusion or the lower reality. But keep in mind, this is only relative because the decision between higher and lower can vary from person to person. And even though you deem something to be either real or illusory, do not lose sight of the real truth that God is the dreamer behind both. Remember this, and the you that sleeps with your eyes open will awaken to truly see my reality. Does everyone dream when they sleep? Yes, but why doesn't everyone remember their dreams? Because many do not like what they see when they dream, so they subconsciously shut themselves off from remembering them. And I ask, what's the difference between an out-of-body journey and a dream? You all must understand that there's no such thing as out-of-body. And I say, what about in death? The soul does not leave the body leaves the soul. Or said another way, the body is no longer animated, at least in the time frame of that person's life. However, the reality of that person's past remains active in the universe, and so does his or her body. So no one ever really dies. What happens in an out-of-body experience or in death is that one's consciousness shifts to another dimension. Tonight is Center of Light dimension, Dreamweaver. What happens in an out-of-body experience or in death is that one's consciousness shifts to another dimension of spirit. This is what creates the sensation of movement or flying. In either case, you do not really go anywhere except deeper within, because the soul is everywhere and everything. The difference between an out-of-body experience and a dream is that one is an experience of another aspect of the soul, and the other is an experience of the mind and its many ideas. And I ask, does everyone have out-of-body jaunts nightly? You all go somewhere else to learn about yourself and the universe. But not everyone remembers these trips. And I ask, why not? Is it for the same reason that people don't remember their dreams? Because what happened while they were out there wasn't pleasant? Spirit says not always. And I say, I don't understand. If they had a good experience, why wouldn't they want to remember it? Listen to this response. Good question. A person has to pass through their mind before they can get back to their body. Now, this is where scary things begin to happen and others begin to get twisted. And I see there's mental confusion. And Spirit says, yes, but it is for good cause. When someone's consciousness returns to their body, the mind must paint pictures to try to explain what they have just experienced on their journey. This is not an easy task when nothing in their mind represents anything they may have experienced while they were out. To many, that is downright frightening. Yes, Bob, astral projection. And I say, I can see so much of myself in that explanation. This was many years ago. And Spirit responds, that's good, Keith. Take it all in and do the work that is required to free yourself. This is about your spiritual, eternal liberation, to explore the cosmic sandbox as an innocent child of your divine parent forever. This is the whole reason for religion. This is the whole reason for churches. This is the whole reason for synagogues. This is the whole reason for mosque. This is the whole reason for anything is spiritual liberation. To go back to being so free that you can be exactly what you want to be at any moment and experience anything at any given second forever. I say, I can see so much of myself in that explanation. That is good, Keith. Take it all in and do the work that is required to free yourself from your fears so that you may be truly awake. And I ask, what does it mean to be truly awake? You are spiritually awake when you no longer need to fall asleep when you're awake to daydream, or to fall asleep to awaken in a lucid experience. You're spiritually awake when you no longer need to fall asleep to experience your soul. And once you are illuminated, you will not experience a loss of awareness during the time your body needs to arrest. Not only will you not experience a loss of awareness when your body falls asleep, you will no longer feel a loss for the careness of the people that you love that have crossed to the other side. You will literally lose your fear of death. And I ask, is there a difference between enlightenment and being awake? Enlightenment is the process of awakening. Awake is the constant awareness that happens as a result of any true understanding. Once you realize something, it can never be unrealized, for it is impossible to do away with what you know. Your ongoing expansion just keeps on going. And I ask, Soul Shine, yes, Lord. I love this response. I ask the question, what will happen after I awaken? You will find yourself in another reality dimension, another dream that will continue until you graduate to dreamer status. Dream weaver. You become the dream weaver. God realization. And I ask, you mean there's more to do after I awaken? Here's that response. As I said before, Keith, my reality is for those who really want it. Yes, the road is a long one and it will take time, but that road will eventually lead you to eternity. And when you get there, all of your struggles will be forgotten. So we work. You go to college for knowledge, and you become that doctor or that whatever it is that you've been in university for so long to become. And when they hand you that diploma and that accolade that you should be proud of and you put on your wall, however big or small, you've opened the door. You have to graduate to the Universal College to become a student who's gained the knowledge to become the teacher. Are you walking through doorways? Because you're walking through them now, whether you know it or not. Literally, you're walking through doorways in your house. When you go to the bathroom, you shut it and you lock it, you walk through a doorway. As above, so below, on forever will go. Everything is a doorway. Think about it. You're going to hang out with your friends tonight at a club. How do you get inside the club? You walk through a doorway. How do you get inside of your car? You walk through a doorway. And everything that you're walking into and through are dimensions of reality. I understand this. Now that you understand that, implement it on every possible level whenever you possibly can. I'm walking through doorways. When you go eat your food out of the refrigerator, what do? You open the door. They're everywhere. When you open your eyes from sleeping at night, when you open your eyes in the morning, you're opening the doorway of your eyes. And it requires all of us to open the doorway of our mind. And then we begin to open up the doorway of the heart. And into the stargate, we get to move. Things really begin to start. Albulita says, I am ready to graduate so I can open the door. Let me tell you something, what you just did, Albulita, you just opened the door. You just affirmed to God in creation and yourself, I am ready to graduate, to open the door. And by your declaration, you just opened the door. You just gained 50% of your journey shoved off. You should be excited. Your tail should be wagging like a puppy dog. Keith, are you serious? Oh, I'm absolutely serious. Because without you saying what you just said, nothing happens. Nothing. Now, what you do is you take this fire in the belly, the fire from your heart, the fire of desire, and you move into it. And you repeat these techniques I've been offering throughout tonight's presentation. I want it. I want to be conscious. I am conscious. I am going to sleep by doing breath. I want to see my deceased grandfather. And you stay with it and you stay with it. Well, Keith, don't I just fabricate that and somehow I come to the dream scenario because I've been repeating it? You know, just like you watched a scary movie and you go to bed and you have a dream about the movie you just watched. This is something completely different. Let me ask you this. Likewise, when you repeat, I want to see my deceased grandfather, over and over and over, and eventually shows up because you made it habit and you've integrated it. We've opened the door for said grandparent to come in through the exercise and the diligence that requires anyone to step in because they cannot violate our free will. Opposite-wise, listen to this. Likewise, opposite-wise, if we can hold a flower, and I look at a flower, and it takes me a month. Every time I go to bed, I smell this flower, taste the flower if it's an edible flower. You smell it, you put it in your face, you make love to this flower every night for 10 minutes until you fall asleep. It will happen when you become consciously aware in your dreamscape. And you're going to find yourself holding that flower. Now, here's a doorway for you to the universe. Can you? Yes, you can. Will you dare to? It's up to you. Find yourself in a lucid experience in a garden. Pick a flower, smell it, taste it, appreciate it, love it, thank it for its presence, and simply wake up from the dream and have the flower in your hand. Do you think this is possible? Many people lean into the idea, I think it's more logical and possible that I can hold the flower for a month and then bring that into my vision, into my dreamscape. Mind you, there's no such thing as a one-way road. Even though it's a one-way highway, there's always a return on the other side of the median. So if you can hold a flower or a picture of someone for a month and experience that in your dreamscape because it's become integrated in you, how can you not do the same? It's impossible. You're doing this every day. You have visions of grandeur about yourself, visions of horror about yourself, and they all come true for all of us. It's all dreams becoming realized. But when we become conscious of the dream, in the mind of God, the dominoes fall away, and reality and the door, the cosmic door, begins to widen, and it opens. And it's not a door that stands before you. It's you who is the door that stand before yourself. Hello, Elwood, my brother. It's been a while. I'm going to take a short pause. Going to be right back. Going to close out tonight's presentation. Tonight is Center of Light Dimensions. I did mention, right now you're in a dimension, hanging out with me, and I hanging out with you. If you start to daydream, you're still consciously awake, but your mind drifted somewhere. That's 2 dimensions at the same time. Likewise, when you go to sleep at night and you become conscious, sleep is 1, conscious is another, so you're now in 2 dimensions. That's a dimension. That's a dimension. That's a dimension. These are all dimensions. So now that I laid this presentation out the way I did, it's all dimensions. And as easy as it is for you to simply smell, see, taste, move, be, as above, so below, and forever it will go, you can begin to traverse into other worlds. Wow, I have a body laying on the bed. Fantastic. You are the space shuttle about to launch from Earth. What is that worth to you? My liberation is worth everything to me. Either way, we're all walking through doorways and dimensions. And as I mentioned, when you want this consciously, the universe simply becomes your hand on the cosmic doorknob. Walk through the doorways, they're there, and you're walking through them. Tighten it. Widen it as you tighten. Tighten yourself up. This is what I'm into. This is what I choose. The door will widen. Be easy. It's not hard. You be hard, you will lose. If you want to win, you have to back up, love, appreciate every moment. Be excited. Be horny. Be randy, as they say in England across the pond. To go to sleep at night. When I go to sleep at night, when I lay my head on that pillow, I'm like, oh my God, I am about to go hang out with some cosmic people. I'll be right back. Good to see you. Tonight is Center of Light Dimensions. Ooh, Dreamweaver.
Trust that I will guide you in whatever you do. Just remember to breathe and do your very best to live in love, give in love, be in love, and love you shall receive.
What I want to be and see, what I want to see and want, knowing God is by my side. There is nothing I need to know. Expand myself to know there is no one else but me and God who's in my heart.
Welcome back to Center of Light Dimensions. Dreamweaver, I believe you can get me through the night. Hello, Rhiannon Mayer. Rhiannon is the singer for the band I've been playing with. That girl can sing, let me tell you. I'm going to read some of these comments. I think it's Lore posted, the deeper you go, the higher you get. That's legit. The deeper you go, the higher you get. Rhiannon says, I've been dreaming about Elvis. I'm going to dissect this. I want to give you a dream interpretation, Rhiannon, if I can. She says, I've been dreaming about Elvis twice this month. Hope he comes back over. Hope he keeps coming back over. So how do we begin to, which is very integral to dream interpretation, to eventually move us into not just remembering and writing our dreams down to where we become conscious of the escape that is taking place. Oh my God, I have a body laying on the bed. So you automatically know that I'm multifaceted. I'm multidimensional. I am here, the one realizing I have a body on a physical bed somewhere. So you already broaden your scope. We all broaden our scopes when we come to these realizations. So in one step of becoming cognizant and multidimensional levels is by dissecting and decoding our dreams. Rhiannon asks or says, I've been dreaming about Elvis twice this month. Hope he keeps coming back over. Well, the way we begin to understand not only dream interpretation, this is important, but dreams seem so low on the pole compared to, and I understand it's a process of learning and growing, but dreams, I dream every night. Fantastic. But I'm talking about something that's way up this totem pole because your spirit animal is the eagle, whatever. So if we look at least Rhiannon's as a template for any of us, and I think Elwood posted something, I'm going to read it as well. She dreamed about Elvis. Being a singer, amazing she is, Elvis is an icon, a stepping stone, a pinnacle, a landmark to say, wow, that's just amazing power. And this southern boy from Tupelo, Mississippi, who had this wiggle and shake about him and this amazing, soulful, pioneer rock and roll voice. He was so good at it, they tried to ban him. So whatever level of power this means for you, Rhiannon, your mind is looking for a way, has found a way to say, this is what this level of experiencing and being feels like to me. If I could paint a picture to feeling this sort of majesty that you know as Elvis, then it gets painted by Elvis. For someone else, it might be Santa Claus. For a child who still believes in Santa Claus, it might be Santa Claus. Someone who believes that dogs are loyal, dogs in their dream will show up as loyalty. Someone who's scared shitless from dogs, it'll show up as fear. So in your dream, my dream interpretation for you, Rhiannon, is this level has come to you twice this month as to why you hope it continues. Hope is a beautiful thing. Keep it up. Fantastic. My brother Elwood says, I had a dream 2 days ago, was on a road, went up a hill. Let me tell you something about going up a hill. As spiritually endowed as this boy is, you get me up a tall bridge going to South Louisiana, the expanse freaks me out. I'm getting better because last night I moved into a new arena. I don't just remember my dreams, and I'm not only moving around lucidly. I now understand the process of opening cosmic doors. So I'm asking you to leave this presentation tonight, not from the perspective of, oh my God, Keith gave me some wonderful techniques of how I can remember my dreams. Oh my God, Keith gave me some wonderful texts of how I can be conscious during my dreams. That's cool and that's all true. But let's go up to the highest level of the floor of the building. That's all subfolders. Oh my God, I am going to learn, choose, dedicate, intend, will forth that I am going to walk through cosmic doors. There's a lots of responsibility that comes along with that. You got to be careful what you're thinking about, because you can create karma on that level and in reality, this reality. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just saying you will get a panking on your hiney. You don't understand that there's a piece of furniture in your house that someone bought for you and the light is off, and you come home from work and it's dark and you break your pinky toe. Said unconsciousness will break your pinky toe. You get your hiney panked. Same idea. So with Elwood, he says, I had a dream 2 days ago. I went uphill about a mile. I got scared. I get it. We begin to see larger parts of ourselves, and it's scary shit. Most people, you know what most people are afraid of? Their own power. Because we realize in past experiences, said free will power has caused our own downfall, and we're scared of our power. It's time to take it back and become conscious. I scared myself into waking up, but not before the experience of being in the air. I don't remember the vehicle. The word you used was vehicle. You didn't say car. Car is a word. Sounds like vehicle. They're all the same word, but they have a monumental difference. Even though a car and a truck are automobiles, they're completely different. A car is this thing that looks like this, and a truck has a bed. Completely different. He chose the word vehicle. So vehicle is not only geared towards an automobile. Vehicle means anything that becomes an apparatus for me to move forward. Inward, upward, forward, toward. So Elwood, you didn't just say, I was riding in a car. You said vehicle. Something that is I'm using as a conveyance that moves me. I think this experience was fantastic. Let me look at Robert Harrison. He says, about visiting archangels and such, it can be done, but you have to raise your correct. If you want to experience angelic beings, we have to begin to vibrate to the level of the angelic to actually have our mind paint the picture that I'm actually experiencing Michael. Other than that, we'll be in the ongoing unconscious cycle of always wanting it. It's about elevating, elevating, elevating. As to why Rhiannon was able to have the dream of Elvis. What is Elvis known as? Elvis is known as the king. King, majesty, royalty, majestic, purple, all these royal qualities. Rhiannon, that's fantastic. And using and reflecting on what I'm offering about your dreamscape and seeing it as fantastic is what will not only bring him back, but Elvis and his parents and everything of his lineage divinely. So the idea is, here you go, Elwood and Rhiannon, I merged these two together. So this kind of wanting Rhiannon, Elwood, becomes the vehicle that brings us up the mountain or the hill so that we can see much more expandedly and not get afraid. Because when you start traversing these doorways, these inner doorways, you've never seen such beings. You've never seen such decor. It'll take you back. It's beautiful once you collect yourself. You walk in, it's like, oh my God, wait a minute. Wow, this is freaking cool. Then from this level of a consciousness shift, even in your present life, something that will kick you in your pants, truly it's God's grace saying, I'm giving you another chance to start your dance. You don't have to like certain things, but it's still God kissing you on your face, saying, nothing will ever replace this blessing of you messing around. Up or down, in and out, all abound. So don't go at what this presentation has been offering all night. Oh, I want to enhance my sleepscape, my dreamscape. Yes, you will do that. Oh, I want to enhance my participation in my dreamscape. Yes, you will do that. The ground is fertile. Insert your seed. Consummate your intercourse with your divine parent. Then it will become apparent to you, your level of seeing. So your new conviction, your new implementation should be, I'm going to sleep tonight to open doorways. I am going to sleep tonight so I can awaken. I'm going to close my eyes so my eye can open. No hoping about it. You turn up that fire in your belly. Become putty, become jelly. Burn, turn, churn, yearn. I'm walking through doorways. In the dream and the mind of God. We're doing it right now. What do you think is happening? Do you think you're just on earth separate from your source? You couldn't exist. Of course you could not. You have not left the other side. You can't be here having left the other side. It's an illusion. It's a dream, I tell you. What you are doing, what we are doing from the quote other side, we are projecting our consciousness down here. We call it up there and down here. That's not it at all, actually. It's a way that helps the mind to leverage itself. So likewise, when we leverage ourselves, we can use such metaphors up there, down here. Because like Laura said earlier, the deeper we go, the higher we go. So what is happening right now, though we think we are awake because the physical eyes are open, this is not the truth. We're projecting ourselves down to this earth in radiated light. You can see the chair in front of you because of radiated light. You have a body and your friends next to you call you Keith or Kelly or Laura or Rhiannon or Robert or Bob or David or KK because the radiated light that bounces off of you, we can be seen. It's a dimension. It's the seeing dimension. And when someone speaks to you, it's the hearing dimension. Taste is a taste dimension. Feelings are the emotional dimension. Spirituality is a spiritual dimension. Every day you are moving through wormholes. Right now you are shifting. Right now you're shifting again. And right now you're shifting again. And every time anyone says anything ever to you, how you respond will launch you to set timeline and dimension. You are flying around the universe out of control, just like me. But when we can consciously fly around the universe out of control, we win the game. All the same. Instead of trying to remember your dreams and become lucid, become absolutely aware. Choose to be with your star parents, your star beings, your deceased loved ones. Go watch a planet being born, our star system being born in a galaxy that is so freaking far away. Science has no even idea that it's going to take another 100 years for science to ever even discover its light that has traveled billions of light years to finally get to us or them, so where they can, through their telescope, go, we just discovered a new galaxy. You, my friend, can time travel to that. It's not really a time traveling. It's you yourself. It's moving through the inner dimension of the doorway that seems like it's a linear process, but it's not. God is present not only here now, it's in every atomic particle, subatomic particles, particles that are so small we can't even detect yet to ever give it a label. It's inherent. It is the glue that holds everything together. And it is the universal, infinite house of many mansions that is talked about in Scripture. Inscribe, subscribe, ascribe to what I'm offering to you. This is what spiritual liberation is about. Not only about the world is peaceful, the world will become peaceful in your world, in your universe, when you are able to move into the higher realms of where No one can traverse unless they are the embodiment of peace, love, unity. Because you have to embody peace to be in a peaceful higher dimension. You have to embody the principle and the quality and to the quantity of love to be in the dimensions of love that will allowingly and lovingly allow you to be there. And unity is multifaceted, meaning unity, the coming together of the multifaceted into one wholeness, as to why you as the whole being can move into the multifaceted inner universe, which is you as a whole being yourself. Good night. What I'm telling you is what is inside of you is eternal. Does that mean? Of course it does. Well, does it mean this? Of course it does. It can't mean that. Absolutely it does, because you declared it to not be so. Check this out before I go. And in your declaring something can't be so by spiritual law, in contrast, behind your back when you're not looking, you are declaring it to be so. There's no such thing as this. And behind you is the this that has convinced you and brought you to a point of saying, there's no such thing as this. You see, the game is being played on all of us. We can get the aha, or we could be the brunt or the butt of the joke. Not so funny when the joke is on you, right? I get it. Walk through the doorways. You are the door, the doorway, and the creation, and everything that's possible. See you soon. Your love beyond measure.